Hello, I'm Sue. Welcome to this session of Age Well Yoga. Tonight we have a gentle flow for you that's going to be activating your thyroid and your throat chakra. So looking at the area around the little kind of dimple that you have at the base of your neck. And this is used to obviously in expression, in communication. It's also used to activate the health you have in your shoulders, your neck, your mouth, your tongue, and your larynx. So when we're doing our stretches and doing our poses tonight, just focus on that area and see if you can activate that area by stretching it or expanding or breathing through it. And just notice your breath and your breath going down through your throat. We'll get started in Sukhasana Easy Seat, sitting cross-legged on the floor. Just take a few moments to settle into your seat and notice your surroundings. Start to be aware of your sit bones connecting with your mat. And then take your attention to your breath. Notice the air coming in and out of your nostrils. And on the inhale, notice your abdomen, chest and shoulders expanding as you take in fresh energy. And on the exhale, notice that grounding into the floor, connecting with your mat. Deep inhale, and then you reach the top, stop, and then just top up with fresh air a little bit more, and then exhale and relax your shoulders down. Inhaling, expanding out to the side, abdomen, chest, shoulders, and then exhaling, relaxing your body down. Inhaling and noticing your spine growing tall, and exhaling, having your shoulders a little bit further away from your ears. Have your hands down by your side, palms up. Inhale and stretch your arms out to the side, up overhead, and hands together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, stretch your arms out to the side, up overhead, palms facing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhaling, stretching out to the side, take up space, hands overhead, and then palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhaling again, stretching out to the side, hands overhead, and exhale, looking to the right. Left hand to the outside of your right knee, and your right hand falls behind you, looking over your right shoulder for a gentle twist. Inhale and feel the length from your sit bones all the way up to the crown of your head. And exhale, relax your shoulders down. Inhale and come back to center, hands overhead. And exhale, coming to the left side, right hand to the outside of your left knee, looking over your left shoulder. And on the inhale, finding length in your spine. And exhaling, grounding through your sit bones. Inhaling, coming back to center. And exhale, drop your right hand to the floor and point your left fingers towards the left, leaning towards, left fingers towards the right, leaning towards the right. Stretching through the left side body. Sit bones, left ribs, left armpit, all the way to your left fingertips. On your next inhale, come up center, hands above your head, and exhale, left hand drops to the side, and right fingers point to the right, right fingers point to the right. And as you inhale, feel the expansion through your right side body. Inhale, coming up, and hands to heart center. Inhale, stretching your arms out to the side, up overhead, and this time sweeping your hands behind you and have your fingers pointing towards your buttocks, elbows and shoulder blades squeezed together, and look up at the ceiling. So you're getting a stretch in your wrist. You're also starting to activate your throat chakra. Look right up at the ceiling. You might have a gentle bend in your lower back, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Take a deep breath here, expanding through the chest. And exhale, relaxing. On the next inhale, spread your arms out to the side, up overhead, and rain your hands forward. Walk your hands forward and then just drop your head towards your chest, chin towards your chest. As you breathe here, on each exhale, just allow your body to soften down a little further and a little further. On your next inhale, walk your hands back to your knees and come up to sitting. Cross your legs the other way. See if you can do it without touching your feet. And then we're going to bend our neck over to the right. So just basically bending your right ear towards your right shoulder. And take your right hand and place it over your left ear, just gently. And allow that gentle stretch to occur on your left side, from your left shoulder all the way through to your left ear. Making sure that your left shoulder and right shoulder are down. Inhale, coming up to center, placing your hand on the knee, left ear to left shoulder. And have your left hand on your right ear. And just allow that stretch to occur. Right shoulder is away from the ear. Just activating the throat and neck area. Inhale, coming back up, your hand goes back onto your knee or thigh. And now just have a look to the right, back to center, and to the left. Inhaling as you come to center, and exhaling as you look each side. And just keep that going 3 more times. Inhaling to center, exhaling to the side. Inhaling to center and exhaling to the other side. Inhale and come back to center. Exhale, drop your chin to the chest and just leave it there for a couple of breaths, stretching through the back of your neck. Let the weight of your head stretch your neck out. Looking down at your mat, relaxing the shoulders. And then inhale, bring your chin up to horizontal and then point it up to the ceiling. Again, stretching through the front of your neck, descending the shoulders. On your next exhale, chin to chest. And inhale, chin towards the ceiling. And exhale, coming back to neutral spine. Wonderful. Now we get into tabletop position. So wrists are under our shoulders and knees are under hips. Neutral spine, toes pointing straight back, fanning out your fingers and pressing through the fingertips. Inhale and drop your belly towards the mat and shine your throat forward. Exhale and tuck your chin to chest. Inhale and shine your heart space forward, hips go to the sky, broad through the collarbones. And exhale, tuck in your tail, chin to chest, creating a bind there. And then inhale, belly towards the floor, hips towards the sky, shining your throat space forward. And this time, exhale, tuck your toes and come into downward facing dog. Inhale and come back to cow, so knees come back to the ground, shining your heart space forward. And then exhale, coming back to downward facing dog. Hips go to the sky, pushing with your hands, pushing the floor away from you. And then inhale, coming back into cat. Knees to the mat, shining your heart space forward. And then exhale to come into neutral spine. Wonderful. Now step your hands forward a little and come onto your forearms. So your forearms are parallel with each other, shoulder width apart, and your hands are still splayed in front of you on the mat, connecting with the mat. Tuck in your toes and come up for dolphin. So hips go to the sky. So like a downward dog, but you're balancing on your forearms. Shoulders over your elbows, pressing into the forearms. Shining your hips up to the sky, forehead and chest aiming towards the mat. Take a couple of breaths here. Building up strength across the shoulder blades, shoulders, neck, and the lower back. Inhale and drop your knees to the ground and slide your hands forward for Sphinx Pose. So your belly is on the mat, your hands are still splayed out in front of you, your elbows are under your shoulder, and you're in Sphinx Pose. Again, shining your collarbones forward or wide to the side, throat is exposed. Activating your seat of expression, authentic expression. Inhale, stretch your crown up to the sky. And exhale, bring your hands together in front of you, one on top of the other, and rest your forehead on your hands. Crocodile. Raise your feet up to the sky and just windscreen wiper your knees, legs from side to side, just releasing your lower back. Wonderful. Stretch your right arm out in front of you and come onto your right side. Push over onto your right side with your left hand. So you're balancing on your right side. Your left hand is in front of you to give you some support. Your feet are stacked up on top of each other. Step your left foot behind your right leg. And then stretch your left hand out, if you feel stable, over to meet your right hand. So it's up by your ear, your left arm is up by your left ear. Starfish Pose. Just take a couple of breaths here. If it's difficult to balance, just keep your left hand in front of your chest on the floor, in front of you. It takes a little bit of concentration to balance in this pose. Inhale, stretch up long, and exhale, roll back to crocodile. Roll onto your stomach, put your hands under your forehead, one on top of the other, and stretch your legs long. We'll go on the left side now. Stretch your left arm out long. Roll over to your left side. So your left ear is balancing on your left upper arm. Your right hand is supporting you by your chest. And if you're comfortable here, bring your right leg, bend it behind your left leg. You might like to stay here, or if you feel you can balance, stretch your right hand up over your head till it meets your left hand. It's a little bit like a supine tree pose. And just feel that stretch through your body. Inhale, stretch along, and on the exhale, roll back onto your stomach and into crocodile. Hands stacked on top of each other and forehead on your hands. And again, raise your legs, your feet, and windscreen wiper them from side to side. Wonderful. Have your hands under your shoulders and push up into tabletop. From tabletop, we'll come into downward facing dog. So inhale, tuck in your toes, and on the exhale, push your hips up to the sky for downward facing dog. Pedal out your legs, having one heel go down towards the ground and then the other, while one comes in towards the chest. And then find stillness in your downward facing dog. Rotate the elbows so that the eyes of the elbows are shining forward, broadening across the collarbones. Shoulders away from the ears. Inhale and stretch your right leg up to the sky for three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Right knee comes into your nose, rounding through the upper back. Inhale, right leg up to the sky. And exhale, bring your right foot in between your hands. Step it through, you might need to move one of your hands. And then come down into a beginning of Anjaneyasana. Have your left knee on the ground. You can have your left foot untucked or tucked. Your right leg is in a square. Inhale and hover your torso over your right thigh. Fingers pointing backwards by your hips. Exhale here, and then inhale, sweep your arms up above your head. Your torso comes to vertical Anjaneyasana. Scissor your thighs together for balance. Track your navel in to protect your lower back. Inhale, stretch your arms up, and exhale, rain them down to the mat on either side of your right foot. Inhale as you swing back and then straighten your right foot and right leg for half splits. Oops. Point your toes to the ceiling. Just go down as far as you're comfortable. Track your right hip back and your left hip forward so they stay parallel with the top of your mat. Inhale and step your right foot back in, and exhale, push back into downward facing dog, tucking in your left foot and stepping your right foot back. Just take a breath in downward facing dog. Inhale and raise your left leg up into the sky. Exhale, knee to nose, rounding through the back. Inhale, left leg up to the sky. And exhale, foot comes between your hands, your left foot between your hands, and your right knee goes to the ground. Inhale and have your hands next to your hips, hovering your torso over your left thigh. Your left leg is in a square. Exhale here. Then inhale, sweep your arms forward, above your head, palms facing, and your torso is vertical. Wonderful. Inhale, stretch up, and exhale, rain your hands forward to frame your left foot. Inhale Inhale and come back, and then smoothly move your left heel forward for half splits. Your left toes point towards the sky, left leg is straight or slightly bent depending on what's comfortable for you. And you might need to dome your hands depending on your geometry. Just notice where your attention has gone in this intense pose and bring it back to your breath. If you're tensing up anywhere in the jaw, around the eyes, just breathe in on the out breath. See if you can relax that area. On the next inhale, bring your left foot in between your hands. Left leg is in the square. Exhale, tuck in your right toes and push back into downward facing dog. Walk your feet towards your hands and come into ragdoll, swaying from side to side. Relaxed shoulders, relaxed head. Shake your head if you need to release your neck. And then clasp opposite elbows in your hands and just sway, bending one knee and then the other. Feeling the release in your lower back, upper back, and the stretch in your hamstrings. Relax your arms to the floor, chin to chest, and on your next inhale, vertebrae by vertebrae, roll up to mountain pose. Roll out your shoulders and come to the front of your mat for Salutation A. Just stand in mountain pose first, tailbone tracking towards the ground, navel towards the spine, and crown stretching up to the sky. And just imagine the light coming from that area that we were talking about, the throat chakra. Just imagine the warmth and the energy that you're creating there. Inhale, stretch your arms out to the side, up overhead, palms facing, and exhale, reining your hands forward towards the mat. Inhale and step one foot back and then the other foot back into downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Inhale and come into tabletop and then into supported plank. Shoulders are above your wrists. Your body is at a diagonal. And exhale, coming down to the ground. Have your elbows close to your ribs, help you lower yourself slowly to the mat. Hands under the shoulders. Inhale, pushing up into Cobra. Crowns shining up towards the sky. And again, your neck, collarbones all shining forward. And then exhale to relax down. Inhale, push up to tabletop, tuck in your toes, and then exhale for downward facing dog. This time, walk your hands towards your feet. And just sway from side to side. And then roll up to standing, vertebrae by vertebrae. Allowing your arms to be soft, shoulders soft, and the neck comes up right at the last minute. Wonderful. Coming to the front of the mat. Inhale, stretch your arms out to the side and up overhead. Exhale, and rain your hands down to the ground, framing your feet. Step back into dog pose. Inhale and exhale, come into tabletop and then come forward into supported plank, shoulders over your wrists. Just looking at the floor in front of you and activating your core, knitting your ribs together, finding strength in your core. Inhale here, and then on the exhale, bring your elbows in towards your ribs and lower yourself down gently to the mat. Pressing into the tops of the feet so that the knees are off the mat. Hands under your shoulders. Inhale, come into baby cobra. Crown comes up to the sky, shining your heart space forward. And exhale, coming down to the mat. Inhale, pushing up into tabletop. And exhale, tucking your toes and coming back for downward facing dog. Walk your feet towards your hands. And come to a forward fold here. Just allow your torso to be heavy on your thighs. Have as much bend in your knees as you wish. And then inhale, come halfway lift. Your body is parallel with the ground. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, spreading your arms wide, coming up. Hands overhead and palms to heart center as you exhale. And into mountain pose. Wonderful. Just going to do a couple of arm exercises, standing exercises now. So in mountain pose, just stand in mountain pose. Inhaling, stretch your arms out, up overhead. And clasp your hands together and point your index fingers up towards the sky. Take a couple of breaths here. Just noticing the stretch in your side body. Inhale, stretch up, and exhale, stretch, lean to the right. So banana shape. Inhale, stretching up, center, and exhale over to the left. So feel that stretch all the way through your body, up through your center line. Inhale, coming up, and exhale, bringing your hands back by your side. Inhale, stretching your arms out and up overhead. Exhale, sweeping your hands behind you and clasping your hands together. Inhale, stretch your head up, look up at the ceiling, stretching your neck area. And then exhale, bending forward, forward fold, hinging at the hips. And allow your hands to point backwards or up towards the ceiling, whichever serves you. Take a couple of breaths in this forward fold. Inhale, coming up. And exhale. Release your hands. Back to mountain pose. Inhale, spread your hands out to the side, up overhead. Take the opposite clasp of your hands. Point your index fingers up. Inhale, and on the exhale, lean to the left. Inhale to center. And exhale, leaning to the right. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, stretch your arms out, up to the side. And exhale, sweep them behind you and take the opposite clasp on this side. Look up at the ceiling as you inhale, stretching through the front body. And exhale, hinging from the hips, coming down for forward fold. And again, stretch your arms out at the back of you or overhead, whichever is comfortable. If that's uncomfortable, you can actually take opposite elbows instead. Take a breath there. And then inhale, coming up, and exhale, releasing your hands. Just give your wrists a little shake out. Wonderful. Sun salutations B, standing at the top of your mat. Inhaling, stretching your arms out to the side, up overhead, and then raining your hands down, forward fold. Have a bend in your knees if that serves you. Planting your hands either side of your feet, and exhale back into downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, bring your right foot in between your hands. Plant your left foot on the ground at 45 degrees. Have your right leg in a square. On your next inhale, hover your torso above your right thigh, hands pointing backwards by your hips. Exhale here. Inhale, swing your hands forward and up overhead, palms facing, for warrior one. So your hips are parallel with the front of the mat. Your right leg is in a square and your left leg is active. So really dig into the outside edge of your left foot while you track your right hip backwards. Relax the jaw. And just take a moment here. You might want to think about speaking your truth, your authentic expression. Inhale, stretching up. And on the exhale, straighten your right leg and bring your hands behind you, clasping opposite elbows with your arms. So modified pyramid pose. So our right hip is still tracking back, left ribs are tracking forward. Inhale and look up at the sky. Again, stretching through the neck area. And exhale, bring your torso down so it's parallel with the floor. So your crown is shining forward. Still your right hip is tracking back. And see if you can really press into the outside edge of each foot. Inhale, stretch it, coming back up. And exhale here. Inhale, stretch your arms out to the side, up overhead, and bend your right leg. Back to warrior one. Inhale, stretching up, and exhale, rain your hands forward to frame your right foot. Point your left toes forward. And on your exhale, push back into downward facing dog. Right foot back to join the left. Inhale and stretch your left leg out to the side, out to the sky. Exhale and bring your left foot forward in between your hands. Have your right foot at 45 degrees, flat on the mat. Your left leg is in a square. Inhale and hover your torso over your left thigh, hands pointing backwards by your hips. Just make sure you're active in your back leg. Exhaling here and then inhale, sweep your hands forward and up overhead. Warrior one on the left side. So just check your alignment, that your back leg is strong, your thigh is strong. Turning that thigh inwards. Focus on your breathing. Inhale, stretch up, and exhale, straighten your left leg. Inhale, stretch your arms up, and then exhale, sweep them behind you, grabbing opposite elbows with the hands. On your next inhale, look towards the sky, stretching up through the front body, and then exhale, hovering the torso or bending forward until the torso is parallel with the ground. So feel the extension through the crown of your head, all the way through your body, down towards your hips. Relax the jaw. And connect with your breath. Inhale, coming back up with your torso. Exhale here. Inhale and bend your left leg and bring your hands back to warrior one above your head. Take a couple of breaths here. On your next inhale, stretch your arms up high, and then exhale, rain your hands down so they frame your left foot. Inhale here, and on your exhale, push back into downward facing dog. Left foot goes back to meet your right. Take a couple of breaths here in downward facing dog. Make sure your heels are disappearing behind your feet. Hips are shining up to the sky. Chest and forehead towards the ground. Inhale and bring your knees down to the mat. And have your shoulders over your wrists for supported plank. Bring your elbows into your ribs and lower down, all the way down to the ground. Have your hands under your shoulders. Inhale for baby cobra. And exhale, coming down. Hands under your shoulders, inhale, and come back into tabletop, pushing up. And exhale, fold your toes in and come back to downward facing dog. Walk your feet towards your hands, into a forward fold, come into a forward fold. Inhale for halfway lift. Exhale for forward fold, and then inhale, sweeping your hands out to the side, coming up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center, and into mountain pose. And again, just notice how you're feeling. Notice the energy running through your body. And we'll come down to the mat. And just knee on our mats, have our knees together, and we'll do a modified camel as we did last week, starting with the zombie camel. So we're going to inhale, raise our hands up, our arms up so they're parallel with the floor. Exhale as we lean back into zombie camel. So our torso is on a diagonal, tucking the chin in, long through the back, and shoulders away from the ears. If that's uncomfortable, you can tuck your toes in. Might be a bit easier if you tuck your toes in, the strain on the thighs. Inhale, coming up, and just relax your hands for a moment, arms for a moment. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, raising our arms up parallel with the floor. And exhale, leaning back into zombie camel. Try and relax the shoulders down away from the ears and have the chin tucked slightly to create length in the neck. Inhale, coming up. You might just need to jiggle out your knees and then put them together again. So your knees are together, feet are together. Tops of the feet can be on the mat, or you can have your toes tucked in. Inhale, raise your hands out to the side, up overhead. And then exhale, sweeping your hands behind you, hands into the small of your back with your fingers pointing downwards. Have your little fingers touching. Inhale and squeeze your shoulder blades together, looking up at the ceiling for modified camel. Just leaning back slightly for a back bend. Squeezing your shoulder blades together, activating that throat chakra. Take a couple of breaths here. Inhale, coming up, and relax your arms. We'll do that one more time with a variation. So inhale, raise your arms, have them spread out to the side, up overhead. Exhale, sweep them around to the back, again, into the small of the back, fingers pointing downwards, squeezing in the shoulders. On your next inhale, lean backwards into your hands, looking up at the ceiling, hips going forward for this back bend. Stay here, or if you like, on your next inhale, just raise your right hand up to the vertical for a stretch. And exhale, return your right hand down. Stay like this, or if you like, inhale, raise your left hand up to vertical, and exhale, returning it to your back. Inhale here one more time, and exhale as you come up. Well done. Coming down to Dandasana, seated pose, staff pose. Legs straight out in front of you. Allow your sit bones to connect to the earth. You can have a gentle bend in your knees if that serves you. And your toes pointing up to the ceiling or towards your shins. Have your hands next to you, fingers pointing forward. Or have them on your thighs if that's more comfortable. Broad across the collarbones, shoulder blades together. And find length in your spine. And as you breathe in, just notice the breath, not only going in and out of your nostrils, but traveling through your throat. You might even be able to constrict your throat slightly and make a little ocean noise. Ujjayi breathing. And forward fold. Inhale, stretch your arms out to the side, up overhead, and exhale, hinging from the hips. Allow your hands to rain forward, leading with your chin. And keep your hands by your thighs. Have your elbows out to the side. And just allow your chest and face to shine forward. Allow your lower back to melt down towards your thighs. Torso towards your thighs. And keep looking forward. Inhale, stretch your crown forward, and exhale, softening the lower back towards thighs. Inhale, stretching forward, and this time lower your head towards your legs, chin to chest. So you're looking towards your abdomen as you allow your body to soften down a little further. You may like to relax your arms and put them by your thighs or your calves. On your inhale, stretching your crown forward and coming back up to Dandasana, Staff Pose. So we'll do an easy twist. So bring your right foot next to your left thigh. Wrap your left arm around your right shin. Inhale and stretch your right hand up to the sky. And exhale, drop your right hand behind you. You might have it domed close to you or further away, depending on your geometry. And look over your right shoulder. Inhale, stretching up. And exhale, looking over your shoulder, just softening. Squeezing that right thigh in towards your body. Inhale, stretch the spine up. And exhale, just look a little further over your shoulder, twisting from your core. Inhale, stretching up, and exhale to soften. This time, inhale, unwind your torso, but keep your legs where they are. Hands frame your left hip for a counter twist. Stretch your right leg out. Left foot comes in by your right thigh. Wrap your right arm around your left shin. Inhale, stretching your arm up. And exhale, dropping your left hand behind you and looking over your left shoulder. Easy twist on the left side. Inhale, stretching your spine up. And exhale, looking over your left shoulder. Stay active in your right leg, toes pointing up to the sky. And relax your face as you soften. One last inhale, stretching the spine long. And exhale, looking over your left shoulder. Inhale and unwind your torso, keep your legs where they are. Frame your right hip with your hands, either side. And then come back to center, Dandasana. Wonderful. Now, going to do fish pose. So lying down on your mat halfway. So your legs on the mat, you're leaning back on your elbows. Great. So let's get our feet right. So the feet are together, knees together, and our elbows are quite tight into our body. Palms facing up. And you might be able to just roll over and have your hands under the top of your buttocks, depending on your configuration. So we're looking at our feet. Inhale and stretch the chest up and start to look up diagonally upwards. And exhale here. And on the next inhale, stretch the chest up further, squeezing the shoulder blades together and looking up at the ceiling. You may be able to get a bend in your lower back as well by arching your spine. You might need to walk your feet away from you a little bit further. You can drop your head all the way back if that's comfortable for you, but keep looking straight up at the ceiling. Do not look side to side, look straight up at the ceiling. If it's not comfortable to tip your head all the way back, just look up at the ceiling or even look forward. So again, stretching through the front side body, allowing energy, light, life to come into that area of your throat chakra. Deep inhale here, and then exhale, tuck your chin towards your chest and come back up to Starfish Pose. That was a modified fish. Wonderful. Coming down to lying on your mat. First of all, just tuck both knees into your chest, clasp your hands around your shins, and just roll from side to side to release that lower back. And then put your feet on the ground behind your buttocks for bridge pose. So have your feet hip width apart. Have your palms on the floor next to you, palms down. And roll over to the right and tuck in your left shoulder blade. Roll to the left and tuck in your right shoulder blade so they're nice and close together. Inhale and press through the heels. Lift your hips up towards the sky, pressing through your hands, forearms, upper arms, and through the back of your skull. Broadening through the shoulders, front shoulders, chest. Hips up to the sky. And on your next exhale, slowly come down to the mat, visualizing your back, each vertebrae as it touches the mat. We'll do bridge pose one more time. So just make sure your heels are still hip width apart. Hands are flat on the ground next to your thighs, next to your hips. Inhale, pushing through the heels, hips towards the sky for bridge pose. If you're comfortable here, you might like to play with clasping your hands together and pulling them away from you. So pulling the shoulders away from you towards the front of your mat, towards your feet. Making sure that you keep looking up at the ceiling, straight up. Let's take 2 breaths here. Deep inhale and exhale. Inhale, those hips going high up to the ceiling, and hands released if they were clasped. Exhale and lower your vertebrae slowly down to the mat. Spine coming down gradually until it's completely on the mat. Untuck your shoulder blades and have your crown of your head stretching away from your body. Cross your right leg over your left leg nice and tightly and drop both legs to the right, knees to the right. Have your hands out wide, arms in a T shape, and look to the left. Breathe in and come back to center and change the cross of your legs, nice tight cross left over right, and drop both knees to the left, looking to the right. Inhale through your side body. And notice how your breathing is starting to relax and slow down. Inhale, bringing both knees back to center. Bring both knees into the chest, clasping your hands across your shins. And just roll again from side to side. And then take any last adjustments you may like before Shavasana. Stretching your legs out long, feet drop to the side,
Have your hands next to you, palms up. Just focus on your breath as you start to relax. You may like to visualize each part of your body relaxing. Feet and ankles, relax. Calves and knees, relax. Thighs and hips, relax. Abdomen relaxes down. Hands and wrists, relax. Forearms and elbows, relax. Upper arms and shoulders, relax. Chest and shoulders, relax. Neck and jaw, relax. Tongue relaxes. Your eyes are heavy in the sockets. The skin around your eyes and the skin on your face softens. As the body relaxes, so the mind follows. Stillness. If thoughts arise, just allow them to pass like clouds in the sky. And return your focus to your breath. And if you'd like to stay in Shavasana for longer, please do so. When you're ready, introduce some gentle movement to your hands, to your feet. Brush your fingertips with your thumbs. Move your toes, your ankles. You might like to stretch long, stretching out your legs, your arms overhead, before curling into a tight ball and rolling over to one side. And just resting there before you push up into Sukhasana easy seat, sitting cross-legged just as we started. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, breathing in clarity of expression, and exhale, clarity of expression. Inhale, and on the exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, and on the exhale, bow our thinking minds to our loving hearts in gratitude for practice today, and in gratitude for the ability to speak our own truth and to hear others speak their truth. We are also grateful for all the circumstances that brought us to practice today, including nature itself. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.
And if you enjoyed this, please subscribe, like, and perhaps even leave a comment. Thank you. Bye.